Maya Bennett never imagined that delivering desserts to Boston's most exclusive gala would change everything. 6 years ago, tech mogul Evan Hart had crushed her heart with words that still haunted her. "You're too plain, too black, not sophisticated enough for my world." But tonight, as she stepped into that glittering ballroom with her 5-year-old son Jordan by her side, she was no longer the broken woman he'd discarded. What Evan didn't know was that the little boy with the dimples identical to his own was about to shatter his perfectly controlled life. The same man who had called her not mother material was about to discover he'd been a father all along, and that his own people had kept them apart. As Jordan innocently asked, "Are you the daddy from Mommy's pictures?" Cameras flashed, capturing the moment that would either destroy Evan's empire or force him to choose between his reputation and his family. Some secrets are too big to hide, and some truths demand to be told. If you want to see how this explosive confrontation unfolds, hit that subscribe button and tell me what city you're watching from. I love connecting with viewers from all over the world. The cool October air carried the scent of salt water from Boston Harbor as Maya Bennett stepped out of the taxi. Her hand smoothed down the front of her deep navy dress, simple but elegant, with a wrap style that hugged her curves just right. The fabric felt good against her skin, confident, strong. "Mommy, look at all the fancy cars." Jordan's bright voice cut through her nervous thoughts. Her 5-year-old son pressed his face against the taxi window, eyes wide with wonder. Maya smiled, her heart warming as it always did when she saw his excitement. "Pretty cool, huh, baby? There's like 1 million of them." Jordan bounced in his booster seat, his dimples showing deep in his cheeks. Those dimples always made people stop and stare. They were so distinctive, so familiar. Carla Ruiz, Maya's best friend and business partner, leaned forward from the front seat. "You sure about this, Maya? We can just drop off the desserts and go. Nobody said you had to stay." Maya looked at the gleaming entrance of the Boston Harbor Grand Hotel. Golden light spilled from the tall windows. Well-dressed people moved through the lobby like they owned the world. 5 years ago, she would have run. 5 years ago, she had run. But not tonight. "We're here," Maya said simply. "Jordan wants to see the big chandelier, and I promised him we'd look at the boats from the window." The truth was more complicated. Maya had built a successful bakery business from nothing. She employed 6 people. She owned her own home. She had raised an amazing little boy by herself. Tonight, she wanted to see if the man who had called her too plain and not the right fit for his world could see her now. Not that she needed his approval. She just wanted him to know what he'd lost. "Okay," Carla said, grabbing the pink bakery boxes from the trunk. "But we stick together, and we leave the minute you feel uncomfortable." Maya lifted Jordan from his seat. He looked adorable in his little navy polo shirt and khaki pants. She had even let him wear his favorite sneakers, the ones with the dinosaurs on them. "Ready, my love?" she asked him. "Ready." Jordan slipped his small hand into hers. The hotel lobby took Maya's breath away. Crystal chandeliers hung like frozen fireworks. Marble floors gleamed under warm lights. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, boats bobbed gently in the harbor, their masts reaching toward the darkening sky. "Whoa," Jordan whispered. "It's like a castle." Maya squeezed his hand. "Pretty amazing, isn't it?" She had never been to one of Evan's events before. During their brief relationship 6 years ago, he had always made excuses. "It's boring business stuff," he would say. "You wouldn't enjoy it." Looking back, she understood what he really meant. She wasn't the kind of woman he wanted on his arm at important events. "Maya," a woman in a black blazer approached with a clipboard. "I'm Jennifer from catering. Thank you so much for the last-minute dessert order. The chocolate tarts look incredible." "Thank you," Maya said, handing over the boxes. "I hope everyone enjoys them." "Actually," Jennifer smiled, "we have extra guest passes if you'd like to stay for a few minutes. The auction doesn't start for another hour." Carla shot Maya a look. They had only come to deliver desserts for a client who had gotten sick at the last minute. The event planner had been desperate, and Maya never turned down emergency work. "Can we, Mommy?" Jordan tugged on her dress. "Please? I want to see the big boats up close." Maya looked around the elegant space. She belonged here just as much as anyone else. She had earned the right to stand in places like this. "For a few minutes," she said. They followed Jennifer through the crowd. Maya noticed how people's eyes lingered on them, a young black woman in a simple dress with a mixed-race child who clearly didn't fit the usual profile of guests. But Maya held her head high. She had learned to carry herself with quiet confidence. The ballroom was breathtaking. Round tables covered in white linens filled the space. Each centerpiece held white flowers that seemed to glow in the soft light. But Jordan only had eyes for the wall of windows. "Look, Mommy, you can see everything from here." Maya followed his gaze. The harbor stretched out below them, dotted with lights from boats and the distant airport. It was beautiful, peaceful. "Pretty cool view, huh?" she said. "The best view ever." Jordan pressed his hands against the glass. "Maya?" The voice stopped her heart. Deep, familiar. She turned slowly, and there he was. Evan Hart looked exactly the same, but different somehow. Still tall and lean, with sandy brown hair that fell slightly over his forehead. Still those grey-blue eyes that had once made her feel like she was the only person in the world. But there were lines around those eyes now, and something else. Something that looked almost tired. He wore a perfectly fitted black tuxedo. Of course he did. This was his event, after all. His company's annual gala to show off their latest technology and raise money for local charities. "Evan." Maya's voice came out steady, strong. She was proud of that. His eyes moved from her face to Jordan, who was still admiring the view. Maya watched as Evan's expression changed. His face went pale. His mouth opened slightly. She knew what he was seeing. Jordan had Evan's exact nose, his exact chin. And those dimples, those were definitely Hart family dimples. "Is this?" Evan's voice was barely a whisper. "This is my son, Jordan," Maya said calmly. "Jordan, come say hello." Jordan bounced over, all 5-year-old energy and sunshine. "Hi, are you one of the fancy people who lives in the castle?" Despite everything, Maya almost smiled. Jordan had a way of making everyone feel special. Yes, I guess you could say that." Evan knelt down to Jordan's height. His hands shook slightly. "What's your name?" "Jordan Bennett Hart," the little boy said proudly. "I'm 5 3/4. Do you like boats? My mommy says we can see them better from the balcony thing." Evan's eyes flew to Maya's face. She met his gaze steadily. "Bennett Hart?" he repeated. "Yes," Maya said. "Hart is his father's name, even if his father doesn't know he exists." The words hung in the air between them. Maya felt Gala step closer, ready to defend her if needed. Evan stood slowly. "Maya, Mummy, can we go see the boats now?" Jordan interrupted. "The lady said there's a balcony." Maya looked at her son's eager face, then at Evan's shocked one. 6 years of raising Jordan alone. 6 years of answering questions about his daddy. 6 years of watching other kids with their fathers at school events and birthday parties. "Of course, baby. Let's go find that balcony." The terrace was quieter than the ballroom. Only a few guests stood near the railing, talking quietly. Jordan immediately ran to look over the edge. "Careful, sweetheart," Maya called. She stayed close to him, one hand on his back. Evan followed them outside. He moved like he was in a dream. "Those words I said to you," he started. "Don't." Maya's voice was firm but not angry. "Not here. Not now." "But Maya." "Look," Jordan pointed excitedly. "That boat has Christmas lights." Maya smiled, following his pointing finger. A small yacht decorated with white lights bobbed gently in the harbor. "It's beautiful," she agreed. "Are you Mr. Evan from Mommy's old pictures?" Jordan asked suddenly, turning to look up at Evan. Maya's breath caught. She had never told Jordan his father's name, had never shown him any pictures, but she had kept one photo on her nightstand, just one. A picture of her and Evan from their happiest day together, at a street fair in Cambridge. She must have mentioned Evan's name at some point without realizing it. Evan swallowed hard. His voice came out rough. Yes, I'm Evan." "Cool," Mommy said you were really tall." She was right. Jordan grinned up at him. "Do you want to see the airplane I made? It's in my pocket." Before anyone could answer, Jordan pulled a crumpled paper airplane from his pants pocket. It was clearly homemade, with uneven folds and crayon drawings on the wings. "Jordan made that at school today," Maya said softly. Evan took the little airplane with careful hands, like it was made of glass. His eyes filled with tears he was trying to hide. His voice cracked. "It's perfect. I can teach you how to make them," Jordan offered. "My teacher, Miss Rodriguez, showed us. You fold like this, and then like this." Behind them, Maya heard the soft click of a camera phone. She turned to see a woman in an expensive red dress, quickly putting her phone away and walking back inside. Maya's stomach tightened. She recognized the woman Sienna Cole, Evan's publicist and ex-girlfriend, the woman who had been at Evan's side at every public event for the past 5 years. "We should go inside," Maya said quietly. "Wait." Evan's voice was urgent. "Please, can we talk? Just for a few minutes?" Maya studied his face. She saw no anger there, no denial, just shock and something that might have been hope. "Jordan, do you want to go inside and find Miss Carla? I bet she has some cookies for you." "Can I take my airplane?" Evan held it out to him. "Of course. It's yours." Jordan carefully took the plane back. "Maybe next time I can show you how to make a really good one, the kind that flies super far." "I'd like that very much," Evan said softly. Maya watched her son skip back into the ballroom, so trusting and open. Her heart ached thinking about how many times she had watched him look hopefully at other men, wondering if they might be his daddy. When they were alone, Evan turned to her. "Maya, Stop," she said. "Let me talk first." He nodded. "I'm not here to make trouble for you," Maya said. "I didn't even know this was your event until we got here. We just came to deliver desserts for a client." "You look..." Evan's eyes moved over her face, her hair, her dress. "You look incredible." "I look the same as I always did," Maya said calmly. "You just couldn't see it before." The truth of her words hit him like a physical blow. She could see it in his face. "Those things I said to you," he whispered. "Maya, I was so wrong, so stupid. You said I was too plain. What was the word? Basic. Not sophisticated enough for your world." Maya's voice stayed steady, but her heart pounded. "You said I wouldn't fit in with your friends, your family, your business associates." Evan closed his eyes. "I remember. You said dating me was a mistake, that I wasn't the kind of woman you could build a future with." "I remember," he said again, his voice breaking. "And then you said I was too black for your mother to accept, that your investors wouldn't take you seriously if they saw us together." Evan's hands clenched into fists. "God, Maya, I'm so sorry. You were honest," Maya said simply. "At least about how you felt then." They stood in silence for a moment, watching the boats in the harbor. "But here's what you didn't know," Maya continued. 2 weeks after you broke up with me, I found out I was pregnant." Evan's sharp intake of breath was the only sound. "I tried to call you," Maya said. "I wanted to tell you, but your number had been changed. And when I went to your office, the security guard said I wasn't on the visitor list anymore." "Maya, no, I never. I tried for months," she said. "I even wrote letters, but they came back marked, 'Return to sender.' So I gave up. I figured you had made yourself pretty clear about what you thought of me." Evan stared at her in horror. "I never got any calls, no letters. I swear to you, I never." "It doesn't matter now," Maya said. "What matters is Jordan. He's an amazing kid, smart, funny, kind. He loves dinosaurs and paper airplanes and chocolate chip cookies. He wants to be a marine biologist when he grows up so he can swim with whales. He looks just like..." Evan's voice trailed off. "Like you." "Yes. Everyone always comments on those dimples." They both turned to look through the glass doors. Jordan was at a table with Carla, carefully eating a small cookie and swinging his legs. "He's beautiful," Evan said softly. "He is," Maya agreed, "and he's mine. I've raised him by myself for 5 years. He's happy and loved and safe." "I want to know him," Evan said suddenly. "Please, Maya. I want to be part of his life." Maya studied his face. She saw desperation there, regret. But was it real? Or was it just shock at suddenly being confronted with a son he never knew he had? "That's not a decision I can make right now," she said. "This is a lot to process." "Of course. Yes, I understand." Evan ran his hands through his hair. "But Maya, please don't disappear again. Please give me a chance to prove that I'm not the same person who said those horrible things to you." Before Maya could respond, the ballroom doors opened and people began moving toward their tables. The auction was about to start. "We need to go," Maya said. "Jordan has school tomorrow." "Wait, please." Evan pulled out his phone. Can I have your number? I promise I won't call unless you want me to. But please don't take him away without giving me a chance." Maya looked at this man who had broken her heart so completely 6 years ago. The man who was the father of her precious son. The man who looked like he might fall apart if she said no. "One chance," she said finally. "But this isn't about what you want, Evan. This is about what's best for Jordan. If you hurt him, if you disappoint him, if you decide being a father is too complicated for your perfect life. I won't, Evan said quickly. I promise you, I won't. Maya slowly recited her phone number. Evan typed it into his phone with shaking fingers. I'll call you tomorrow, he said. If that's okay. Make it Sunday, Maya said. Tomorrow is Saturday. That's our day. We go to the aquarium and then have lunch at our favorite diner. Just me and Jordan. Something flickered in Evan's eyes. Jealousy, sadness. Of course. Sunday. Maya nodded and walked toward the doors. Then she stopped and turned back. Evan? Yes? He asks about you sometimes. About his father. I always tell him that his daddy lives far away and can't visit, but that he would love Jordan very much if he could. Evan's face crumpled. Maya, don't make me a liar, she said quietly. Then she walked inside to collect her son and her best friend. As they waited for the elevator, Jordan tugged on her dress. Mommy, was that my daddy? Maya's heart stopped. What makes you think that, baby? He has my dimples, Jordan said matter-of-factly, and he looked at me like the daddies look at their kids at school, all happy and scared at the same time. Maya knelt down to his level. What would you think if he was your daddy? Jordan considered this seriously. I think I would want to show him my dinosaur collection and teach him how to make really good paper airplanes. Do you think he likes dinosaurs? I don't know, sweetheart. We'll have to ask him. Can we ask him tomorrow? Maya smiled, her heart full of love for this incredible little boy who took everything in stride. Maybe not tomorrow, but soon, okay? Okay. Jordan slipped his hand into hers as the elevator arrived. I hope he likes dinosaurs. It would be sad if my daddy didn't like dinosaurs. As the elevator doors closed, Maya caught one last glimpse of the ballroom. Evan stood where she had left him on the terrace, staring out at the harbor. Even from a distance, she could see his shoulders shaking. In the taxi heading home, Jordan fell asleep against Maya's shoulder, still clutching his paper airplane. Carla reached back to squeeze Maya's hand. You okay? She whispered. Maya looked down at her son's peaceful face. I don't know yet, but I think maybe we're about to find out. Outside the taxi windows, Boston rolled by in a blur of lights. Somewhere behind them, at the elegant Gala, Evan Hart was probably trying to figure out how his perfectly controlled life had just been turned completely upside down. And somewhere in Maya's heart, a door that had been locked tight for 6 years was slowly starting to open. The next morning came bright and crisp. Maya had barely slept, her mind spinning with memories and possibilities. But Jordan woke up in his usual cheerful mood, bouncing into her room at exactly 7:15 a.m. Is it aquarium day? He asked, climbing onto her bed. It's aquarium day, Maya confirmed, pulling him close for a morning snuggle. Do you think the penguins missed us? I'm sure they did. They probably saved all their best tricks for you. Jordan giggled. Penguins don't do tricks, Mummy. Are you sure? I think I saw one juggling last time. You're silly. Jordan kissed her cheek. Can we see the sea turtles too, and the jellyfish that look like ghosts? We can see everything you want to see. As Maya made breakfast, her phone buzzed with a text message. Her heart jumped, thinking it might be Evan, but it was just a reminder about Jordan's parent-teacher conference next week. Mommy, you're burning the pancakes, Jordan pointed out helpfully. Maya quickly flipped them, laughing at herself. Good thing you're keeping an eye on me. At the aquarium, Jordan ran from exhibit to exhibit with his usual enthusiasm. Maya found herself watching him extra carefully today, noticing things she had never thought about before, the way he tilted his head when he was curious, just like Evan used to do, the way his whole face lit up when he was excited, the careful way he approached new things, wanting to understand them fully. Had Evan been like this as a child? What would he think of Jordan's endless questions and boundless energy? Mummy, look. Jordan pressed his face against the giant tank, where sea turtles glided past like ancient dreams. They're so calm. Do you think they're happy? I think they're peaceful, Maya said, joining him at the glass. I want to be peaceful like that, Jordan said thoughtfully, just swimming and not worrying about anything. Maya smiled. Sounds nice, doesn't it? After the aquarium, they went to their favorite diner, a small place with red vinyl booths and the best chocolate chip pancakes in Boston. Jordan always ordered the same thing, pancakes with extra whipped cream and a side of bacon, for protein. Can I have apple juice too? He asked, already knowing the answer. Just this once, Maya said. the same thing she said every Saturday. As Jordan worked on his pancakes, getting whipped cream on his nose, Maya's phone rang. Her heart jumped when she saw the name on the screen. "Hello, Evan." "Maya, hi. I know you said to call tomorrow, but I couldn't stop thinking about Jordan, about you, about everything." Maya glanced at Jordan, who was carefully arranging his bacon in a straight line. "Evan, it's Saturday. I told you." "I know. I'm sorry. I won't keep you. I just wanted to ask, does he like the aquarium?" "Jordan?" Maya blinked, surprised. "How did you know we were going to the aquarium? You mentioned it last night. I was wondering if he likes sea life, fish, that sort of thing." Maya looked at Jordan, who was now making little airplane motions with his bacon. "He loves it. He wants to be a marine biologist." "Really?" Evan's voice brightened. "That's incredible. I used to love marine life when I was his age. I had books about whales and dolphins. I wanted to swim with sharks." "He would love that," Maya said softly. "He checks out every book about ocean animals from the library." There was a pause. Then Evan said quietly, "Maya, I meant what I said last night. I want to be part of his life. However, you'll let me." "Mommy, who are you talking to?" Jordan looked up from his pancakes. Maya hesitated. "A friend. Is it the tall man from last night? The one with my dimples?" Evan's sharp intake of breath was audible through the phone. Maya looked at her son's curious, hopeful face. "Yes, sweetheart. It's Mr. Evan. Can I talk to him? Please." Maya's heart pounded. This was happening so fast. But Jordan was already reaching for the phone with sticky fingers. "Hi, Mr. Evan," Jordan said cheerfully. "We're eating pancakes. Do you like pancakes?" Maya couldn't hear Evan's response, but she saw Jordan's face light up. "I like chocolate chip ones best. And bacon. My mommy says bacon is protein, and protein makes you strong." Jordan listened for a moment. "You want to know about the aquarium? It was so cool. We saw sea turtles and they looked like flying underwater, and there were jellyfish that looked like dancing ghosts." Maya watched her son chatter away, completely comfortable talking to this virtual stranger who was also his father. Jordan had always been social, but this felt different. There was an easiness there, a natural connection that made Maya's chest tight with emotion. "Mr. Evan wants to know if I like paper airplanes," Jordan said to Maya. "Can I tell him about the ones we made?" Maya nodded, unable to trust her voice. "My mommy taught me how to make the best paper airplanes," Jordan continued into the phone. "We use the comics from the newspaper because they're colorful, and last week I made one that flew all the way across our living room." Another pause as Jordan listened. "You want to learn how? I could teach you. I'm a really good teacher. My mommy says so." Jordan's eyes got wide. "Tomorrow? We could meet tomorrow?" Maya gently took the phone back. "Jordan, eat your pancakes while they're still warm." "Evan?" she said into the phone. "Maya, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. He just sounded so excited and I—" "Take a breath," Maya said. "It's okay. Is it? Because I feel like I'm messing this up already." Maya looked at Jordan, who was happily munching bacon and humming to himself. "You're not messing anything up, but we need to take this slow, for his sake." "Of course. Yes, whatever you think is best." Maya made a decision that surprised even her. "The park on Beacon Street. Tomorrow at 11. We'll be at the playground for an hour." "Really?" "Really. But Evan, if you change your mind, if this feels like too much, tell me now. Don't let him get attached and then disappear." "I won't disappear," Evan said firmly. "I promise you that." After Maya hung up, Jordan looked at her with bright eyes. "Is Mr. Evan really coming to the park tomorrow?" "Yes, baby." "He is. Good." Jordan went back to his pancakes like everything was perfectly normal. "I hope he likes the swings. They're the best part." As they walked home from the diner, Jordan skipping ahead on the sidewalk, Maya felt like she was standing at the edge of a cliff. Behind her was the safe, predictable life she had built for herself and Jordan. Ahead was uncertainty, possibility, and the very real chance of heartbreak. But as she watched Jordan chase a leaf that was blowing in the wind, his laughter carrying on the autumn air, she realized something important. Jordan deserved the chance to know his father. And maybe, just maybe, Evan Hart deserved the chance to prove he had grown into a better man than the one who had broken her heart 6 years ago. The only question was Maya brave enough to let him try? Sunday morning arrived with golden sunshine streaming through Maya's kitchen windows. She had been up since 6, her stomach full of butterflies. Today felt different from their usual quiet Sundays. Today, everything might change. Jordan sat at the breakfast table, carefully coloring a picture of a whale. He had chosen his favorite shirt, the blue one, with a smiling octopus on the front, and had asked Maya to help him comb his hair. Extra nice. "Do you think Mr. Evan will like my whale picture?" Jordan asked, holding up his artwork. "I think he'll love it," Maya said, buttering his toast. "You worked really hard on it. I made the whale blue because that's my favorite color, and I gave him a happy face because whales should be happy." Maya's heart squeezed. Jordan always thought about making others happy. It was just who he was. At 10:45, they walked to Beacon Street Park. Jordan clutched his whale picture in one hand and Maya's hand in the other. The October air was crisp but warm in the sunshine. "There he is," Jordan pointed across the playground. Evan stood near the swings, wearing jeans and a simple grey sweater. He looked nervous, running his hands through his hair and checking his phone. When he saw them approaching, his whole face changed. The worry melted away, replaced by something that looked like wonder. "Hi, Mr. Evan." Jordan ran ahead, his picture flapping in the breeze. "Hey there, Jordan." Evan knelt down to the little boy's level. "You look very handsome today." "Thank you. I made you a picture." Jordan thrust the drawing toward Evan. "It's a whale. His name is Walter." Evan took the picture with careful hands, studying it like it was a priceless painting. "Walter is fantastic. Look at that smile, and those fins are perfect. Do you really like it?" "I really, really like it," Evan said seriously. "This is going straight on my refrigerator at home." Jordan beamed. "Can you push me on the swings? I can go super high." Maya watched as Evan gently pushed Jordan on the swing set. Her son's laughter filled the air, bright and carefree. Evan was good with him, she had to admit. Patient, gentle. He seemed to understand that Jordan was still little, even though he was smart for his age. "Higher," Jordan called. "I want to touch the clouds." "Hold on tight," Evan said, giving him another push. Maya sat on a nearby bench, torn between joy and worry. Jordan had never had a father figure to play with, to make him laugh like this. But what happened when the novelty wore off? What happened when being a dad got hard? After 20 minutes on the swings, Jordan wanted to show Evan the monkey bars. Then the slide. Then the sandbox where he had built an elaborate castle the week before. "You're really good at this," Maya found herself saying as they watched Jordan dig in the sand. Evan looked surprised. "At what?" "Talking to kids, being with him. A lot of adults don't know how to relate to 5-year-olds. He makes it easy," Evan said softly. "He's so open, happy. He's incredible, Maya." They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, watching Jordan create what he insisted was a palace for sea turtles. "Can I ask you something?" Evan said quietly. Maya nodded. Does he ask about his father? About me?" Maya considered how much to share. "Sometimes. Usually when he sees other kids with their dads at school events. He's never been upset about it." "Exactly. Just curious. What do you tell him?" "The truth. That his daddy lives far away and can't visit right now, but that he would love Jordan very much if he could." Evan's jaw tightened. "And now?" "Now I don't know what to tell him," Maya admitted. "Because I don't know what this is, Evan. I don't know what you want or what you're prepared to give." Before Evan could answer, Jordan came running over, sandy hands and a huge grin. "Look what I found." He held up a smooth grey stone. "It looks like a whale." Evan examined the rock seriously. "You're absolutely right. It does look like a whale. A baby whale, maybe? Can I keep it?" "Of course you can keep it," Maya said, pulling a tissue from her purse to wrap the treasure. "I want to show it to everyone at school tomorrow," Jordan said, carefully tucking the rock into his jacket pocket. "Miss Rodriguez is going to love it." "Miss Rodriguez is your teacher?" Evan asked. "Uh-huh. She's the best teacher in the whole world. She knows everything about dinosaurs and space and how plants grow, and she lets us have extra recess if we're really good." Evan smiled. "She sounds wonderful." "She is. Maybe you could meet her sometime. She likes meeting parents." The word parents hung in the air. Maya felt Evan's quick glance, saw the question in his eyes. "We'll see, sweetheart," Maya said gently. After an hour at the park, Jordan was getting tired but didn't want to leave. "Can Mr. Evan come have lunch with us?" he asked hopefully. Maya hesitated. This was moving fast. But Jordan's hopeful face was hard to resist. "Just for a quick lunch," she said. "Then Mr. Evan needs to go, and you need a nap." They went to a small cafe near Maya's apartment, the kind of place with mismatched chairs and homemade soup. Jordan chattered throughout the meal, telling Evan about his favorite dinosaurs, his best friend Marcus, and his upcoming field trip to the Science Museum. "I want to see the whale skeletons," Jordan said, dipping his grilled cheese in tomato soup. "They're enormous, as big as school buses." "Bigger than school buses," Evan said. "I went there once when I was about your age. The blue whale skeleton is amazing." "You did? Did you like it?" "I loved it. I wanted to be a marine biologist too, when I was little." Jordan's eyes went wide. "Really? Like me?" "Just like you. I read every book I could find about ocean animals. I have lots of ocean books. My mummy gets them from the library for me. Do you want to see them?" Maya started to object. Having Evan to their apartment felt like a big step, but something in Jordan's eager face stopped her. "Maybe next time," she said instead. But Jordan wasn't ready to let it go. "Please, Mommy? I want to show him my favorite one about whales. It has pictures of baby whales with their mummies." Maya looked at Evan, who was clearly trying not to influence her decision. His expression was hopeful but respectful. 20 minutes, she said finally. "Then Mr. Evan needs to leave, so you can rest." Jordan cheered, and Maya wondered what she was getting herself into. Maya's apartment was small but cozy. The living room had a soft blue couch covered in throw pillows, and one corner was clearly Jordan's, filled with books, toys, and a small table where he did his coloring. Everything was neat but lived in, comfortable. Evan stood in the doorway, looking around with obvious emotion. His eyes lingered on the refrigerator, covered in Jordan's artwork, and the shelf of children's books by the window. "This is nice," he said quietly. "It feels like home." Jordan was already pulling books from his shelf. "Look, this one has the best whale pictures." He settled on the couch next to Evan, opening a large picture book about ocean life. Maya watched from the kitchen as Jordan pointed out his favorite animals, explaining what each one ate and where they lived. "And this is a mama whale with her baby," Jordan said, pointing to a photograph of two humpback whales swimming together. "The baby stays with the mama for a long time, until he's big enough to take care of himself." "That's right," Evan said softly. "Mama whales take very good care of their babies." "My mommy takes really good care of me too," Jordan said matter-of-factly. "She makes the best pancakes and she reads me stories every night, and she never forgets to check for monsters under my bed." Evan's eyes found Maya's across the room. "Your mommy sounds pretty amazing." "She is. She's the best mommy in the whole world." Maya felt her throat tighten with emotion. This little boy was her whole heart. After they looked at 3 books, Jordan was starting to yawn. Maya could see he was fighting sleep, not wanting this special time to end. "Okay, my love," she said gently. "Time for your nap. But Mr. Evan just got here." "I'll see you again soon," Evan promised. "Maybe next time I can bring a book about marine biology from when I was your age. Would you like that?" Jordan perked up. "Yes. And maybe we can go see the real whales at the aquarium." "That sounds like a great idea. If your mum says it's okay." Jordan looked at Maya with hopeful eyes. "Can we, Mommy? Please." "We'll see," Maya said. "But right now, it's rest time. Say goodbye to Mr. Evan." Jordan hugged Evan without hesitation, wrapping his small arms around Evan's neck. Maya saw Evan close his eyes, holding her son close like he was afraid Jordan might disappear. "Thank you for showing me the park and your books," Evan said quietly. "I had the best time." "Me too," Jordan mumbled, already sleepy. "Will you come back soon?" "If your mummy says it's okay, yes." After Jordan was tucked into his bed, Maya and Evan stood awkwardly in her living room. The apartment felt too quiet after Jordan's chatter. "He's incredible," Evan said. "Maya, you've done such an amazing job with him." "Thank you." Maya smoothed down her sweater nervously. "He likes you. He doesn't warm up to everyone that quickly." "I like him too, more than I ever thought possible." Evan ran his hands through his hair. "Maya, I know I have no right to ask this, but can I see him again, regularly? I want to be part of his life, really part of it, not just occasional visits." Maya had been expecting this question, but it still made her heart race. "What does that mean to you, being part of his life?" "I want to know about his school and his friends and his favorite foods. I want to help with bedtime stories and doctor's appointments and all the little things that matter. I want him to know that he has a father who loves him." The words hung between them, heavy with possibility and risk. "Evan, 6 years ago you told me I wasn't worth your time, that I wasn't good enough for your world. Why should I believe that's changed?" Evan sat down on her couch, his head in his hands. Because 6 years ago I was an idiot. I was so focused on what other people thought, on building my company, on proving myself to my mother and her friends. I thought success meant having the right kind of life with the right kind of person. He looked up at her. I was wrong about everything, especially about you. What if you decide being a father is too hard? What if your mother disapproves? What if having a mixed-race son hurts your business image? Evan stood up quickly. Maya, no, it's not like that. I don't care about any of that anymore. You say that now, but what happens when it gets real? When he has tantrums or gets sick or needs you at inconvenient times? What happens when your perfect life gets messy? Then it gets messy, Evan said simply. Maya, I know I hurt you. I know I have to earn your trust. But please, give me a chance to prove I'm different now. Maya looked toward Jordan's room, where she could hear his soft breathing. Her brave, loving little boy who deserved to have a father in his life. We start slow, she said finally. Once-a-week visits, somewhere public. If Jordan is happy and comfortable, we can build from there. Okay, yes, whatever you think is best. And Evan, the minute this becomes about what's convenient for you instead of what's best for Jordan, it's over. I won't let him get hurt. I understand. I won't hurt him, Maya. Or you. I promise. As Evan was getting ready to leave, his phone buzzed with a text message. Maya couldn't help but notice his expression change when he read it. Everything okay? She asked. It's nothing, just work stuff. But he looked worried. After he left, Maya sat on her couch, surrounded by Jordan's books and toys. The apartment felt different somehow, like Evan's presence had shifted something in their carefully ordered world. Her phone buzzed with a text. Thank you for today, for giving me a chance. Sleep well, Evan. Maya stared at the message for a long time before responding. Thank you for being gentle with him. See you next week. But as she got ready for bed that night, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that their quiet, safe life was about to get much more complicated. The next day brought new challenges. Maya was decorating a wedding cake at the bakery when Carla burst through the kitchen doors, tablet in hand. Maya, you need to see this. Carla showed her a gossip blog post. Tech CEO's mystery son, Evan Hart spotted with beautiful woman and adorable child, at exclusive gala. The photo was grainy but clear enough. Evan, kneeling next to Jordan on the hotel balcony, both of them looking at the paper airplane. Oh no, Maya whispered. It gets worse, Carla said grimly, scrolling down. Look at the comments. Maya read a few and immediately regretted it. People speculating about Jordan's parentage, about Maya's motives, about whether this was some kind of scandal or setup. Who could have taken this? Maya asked, though she already suspected. Someone at the gala who knew it would be worth money, Carla said. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Before Maya could answer, her phone rang. Evan's name flashed on the screen. Maya, have you seen? I've seen it, she said, stepping away from the noisy kitchen. I'm so sorry. I don't know who took that photo, but I'm going to find out. My legal team is working on getting it taken down. Evan, people are going to put this together. Jordan looks exactly like you. It's only a matter of time before someone figures out he's your son. Would that be such a terrible thing? Evan asked quietly. Maya paused, surprised by his question. What do you mean? I mean, maybe it's time people knew the truth. Maybe I don't want to hide Jordan anymore. This isn't about what you want, Maya said firmly. This is about protecting a 5-year-old boy from media attention he can't understand. You're right. I'm sorry. I'll handle this. After Maya hung up, she found herself shaking. She had worked so hard to build a quiet, stable life for Jordan. The bakery was successful, but not flashy. Their apartment was comfortable but modest. They lived below the radar, just the way Maya liked it. Now all of that was threatened by one photograph. Maya? Carla's voice was gentle. Jordan's here. Maya turned to see her son bouncing into the kitchen, still in his school clothes and backpack. Mommy, I learned about butterflies today. Did you know they taste with their feet? That's amazing, baby, Maya said, pulling him into a hug. Did you have a good day at school? The best day, and Marcus said. Maybe Mr. Evan could come to our school carnival next week. Can he? Please. Maya's heart sank. We'll see, sweetheart. Mr. Evan might be busy with work. But Jordan was already moving on to the next thing, asking if he could help frost the cupcakes they were making for tomorrow's orders. As Maya watched her son carefully spread pink frosting on a vanilla cupcake, she made a decision. She wouldn't let anyone, not gossip bloggers, not Evan's business associates, not even Evan himself, turn her son into a scandal or a secret. Jordan deserved better than that, and Maya was going to make sure he got it. That evening, after Jordan was asleep, Maya's phone rang again. This time it was a number she didn't recognize. "Hello? Maya Bennett? This is Vivian Hart, Evan's mother. I think we need to talk." Maya's stomach dropped. She had never met Vivian Hart, but she knew the woman's reputation: wealthy, influential, and fiercely protective of her son's image. "Mrs. Hart, how did you get this number? That's not important. What's important is that we discuss this situation before it gets out of hand." "What situation?" Maya kept her voice calm. "Don't play games with me, dear. I saw the photograph. I can see the resemblance. That child is clearly Evan's." Maya said nothing. "I'm prepared to make this worth your while," Vivian continued. "A generous monthly support payment in exchange for your discretion. The boy can know Evan is his father, of course, but privately, quietly." "You want me to keep Jordan a secret?" Maya said flatly. "I want you to be reasonable. Evan's company is at a crucial stage. Investors don't like surprises. A secret child from an old relationship could be problematic." "Mrs. Hart, with all due respect, Jordan is not a secret to be managed. He's a little boy who deserves to have his father in his life openly and honestly." "Miss Bennett, I think you're misunderstanding the situation. I'm trying to be generous here. But if you force my hand, are you threatening me?" Maya's voice was quiet but steel hard. "I'm trying to protect my family, including that child." Maya hung up without another word. She sat in her quiet kitchen, hands shaking with anger and fear. This was exactly what she had been afraid of. The moment Evan's world collided with theirs, everything got complicated. Her phone buzzed with a text from Evan. "Can I call you? I think we need to talk." Maya turned off her phone and went to check on Jordan. He was sleeping peacefully, his stuffed whale tucked under one arm and his rock from the park clutched in his other hand. Looking at her beautiful, innocent son, Maya made another decision. If the Hart family wanted to play hardball, they had picked the wrong woman to mess with. The next morning, Maya dropped Jordan at school with extra kisses and hugs. Then she drove straight to downtown Boston, to the gleaming office building that housed Hart Technologies. She had never been there before, but she remembered the address from 6 years ago, when she had tried desperately to reach Evan after learning she was pregnant. The lobby was intimidating, all marble and glass and important-looking people in expensive suits. Maya wore her best dress and her most confident expression as she approached the reception desk. "I'm here to see Evan Hart," she told the polished woman behind the desk. "Do you have an appointment?" "No, but tell him Maya Bennett is here. He'll want to see me." The receptionist looked skeptical but made the call. After a brief, hushed conversation, she directed Maya to the elevators. 32nd floor. Someone will meet you there." Maya's heart pounded as the elevator climbed. She wasn't sure what she was going to say to Evan, only that she needed to say it in person, away from phones and text messages and the possibility of being overheard. When the elevator doors opened, Evan was waiting. He looked surprised and worried, and something else relieved. "Maya, is everything okay? Is Jordan—" "Jordan is fine. We need to talk. Privately." Evan led her to his office, a corner space with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the harbor. It was elegant but surprisingly warm, with family photos on his desk and books scattered around like he actually read them. "Your mother called me last night," Maya said without preamble. Evan's face went dark. "What did she say?" "She offered to pay me to keep Jordan quiet, to make sure he stays your dirty little secret." "Maya, I had no idea she was going to." "Didn't you?" Maya crossed her arms. "Because this feels very familiar, Evan. 6 years ago, you decided I wasn't good enough for your public life. Now your mother decides Jordan isn't good enough either. That's not what this is about. Then what is it about? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like the Hart family is still ashamed of us." Evan ran his hands through his hair, a gesture Maya was beginning to recognize. "My mother is scared. The company is about to go public. There are a lot of moving pieces, a lot of money at stake. She thinks any kind of personal drama could hurt the IPO. So Jordan is drama now? No, God, no. Maya, you have to understand, I don't care about any of that. I don't care about the money or the company or what investors think. I only care about Jordan and you." Maya studied his face, looking for any sign of deception. Then, prove it. What do you mean? Your mother thinks she can buy my silence. Your business associates think they can control this story. Everyone wants Jordan to be convenient for them. But nobody's asking what's convenient for him. What do you want me to do? Maya took a deep breath. I want you to choose, right here, right now. Choose your old life, where image matters more than truth, and money matters more than family. Or choose Jordan, but you can't have both. Evan stared at her for a long moment. Then he walked to his desk, picked up his phone, and made a call. Sienna, it's Evan. I need you to draft a statement. Yes, a public statement, because I'm going to tell the truth about my son. Maya felt her heart stop. No, I don't care about the timing. I don't care about the IPO. And if the investors don't like it, they can find another company to fund. Evan's voice was firm. Draft something simple and honest. I'll review it this afternoon. He hung up and looked at Maya. Is that enough of a choice for you? Maya felt tears prick her eyes. Evan, I meant what I said yesterday. I don't care what anyone thinks anymore. Jordan is my son, and I'm proud of that. If the world has a problem with it, that's their problem, not mine. Before Maya could respond, there was a sharp knock on the office door. A tall, elegant woman in a red blazer walked in without waiting for permission. Evan, darling, we need to discuss damage control. The woman stopped when she saw Maya. Oh, I wasn't aware you had a meeting. Sienna, this is Maya Bennett, Evan said coolly. Maya, this is Sienna Cole, my former publicist. Former? Maya noticed the word choice. Sienna's eyes narrowed as recognition dawned. Ah, the woman from the photo. And the situation. The situation, Maya repeated. Is that what we're calling my son? I'm calling it a potential PR nightmare that could tank your company's valuation, Sienna said to Evan, which is why we need to get ahead of this story before it gets out of hand. The story is simple, Evan said. I have a son. I'm getting to know him. End of story. Evan, be realistic. A secret child, a woman who's clearly been hiding him for years. The press will have a field day with this. I haven't been hiding him, Maya said quietly. I've been protecting him. There's a difference. Sienna turned to her with a cold smile. Of course. And I'm sure your protection has nothing to do with waiting until Evan was successful enough to make this revelation profitable. Maya felt her temper flare. Excuse me? Sienna, that's enough, Evan warned. But Sienna was just getting started. It's a classic story, really. Woman gets pregnant, disappears, then shows up years later when the man is wealthy and successful. Very convenient timing. You have no idea what you're talking about, Maya said, her voice deadly calm. Don't I? You show up at his gala, conveniently bringing the child, making sure everyone can see the resemblance. Then within days you're bringing him to Evan's office, making demands. I tried to tell him about Jordan 6 years ago, Maya interrupted, but somehow my calls never got through, my letters never reached him. Funny how that works, isn't it? Something flickered across Sienna's face. Guilt? Recognition? Evan was looking between them, confusion clear on his face. What are you talking about? Ask her, Maya said, never taking her eyes off Sienna. Ask her if she knows anything about filtered calls and returned letters. Sienna's composure cracked just slightly. I have no idea what you're implying. But Maya could see the truth in her eyes. You do know, don't you? You were Evan's assistant back then, before you became his publicist. You screened his calls, handled his mail. Sienna? Evan's voice was dangerously quiet. Is there something you want to tell me? Evan, I was protecting you. You had just broken up with her. You were focused on building the company. I thought it was just another ex-girlfriend trying to get your attention. The silence in the office was deafening. You knew, Evan said slowly. All this time, you knew Maya had tried to reach me. I thought she was just, you know how women can be after breakups. Dramatic, needy. I was trying to save you from that. Maya felt like she might be sick. 6 years of raising Jordan alone. 6 years of him asking about his father. 6 years of struggling to build a life for them all because this woman had decided Maya wasn't worth Evan's time. Get out, Evan said quietly. Evan, let's be reasonable. Get out, Evan's voice boomed through the office. You're fired. Security will escort you out of the building. Sienna looked genuinely shocked. You can't be serious. I've been with you for 5 years. I've built your entire public image. Based on lies, Evan said. "Based on keeping me from my son. Get out before I call security myself." After Sienna left, Maya and Evan stood in the suddenly quiet office. Maya felt drained, like all the fight had gone out of her. "Maya, I'm so sorry," Evan said. "I had no idea. If I had known, if you had known, what? Would it have changed anything? Would you have wanted us in your life back then?" Evan was quiet for a long moment. "I don't know," he said honestly. "I like to think I would have, but I was different then. Selfish, focused on all the wrong things. At least you're honest." "I can't change the past," Evan said, "but I can change what happens from here. I meant what I said. I'm going to tell the truth about Jordan, publicly. Today." Maya looked out the window at the city below. Somewhere out there, Jordan was probably finger-painting in art class, happy and innocent, and unaware that his world was about to change dramatically. "Once you do this, there's no taking it back," she said. "I know. The press will want to interview me. Interview Jordan. People will have opinions about our family, about the choices I've made. I know, and I'll do everything I can to protect you both from that." Maya turned to face him. "Why now? Why are you willing to risk everything for us now when you weren't before?" Evan was quiet for a moment, looking out at the harbor. "Yesterday, when Jordan fell asleep on my shoulder while I was reading to him, it was the first time in my adult life that I felt like I was exactly where I was supposed to be, like nothing else mattered except being his dad." He looked at her. "I don't want to be the kind of man who hides his family. I don't want Jordan to grow up wondering why his father is ashamed of him. And I don't want you to think that I haven't changed, because I have. Being with you both yesterday reminded me who I want to be." Maya felt tears slide down her cheeks. "Evan, I love him, Maya. I know that sounds crazy. I barely know him, but I love him, and I want the whole world to know he's my son." Before Maya could respond, Evan's phone buzzed with an incoming call. He glanced at it and sighed. "My mother," he said, "probably calling about Sienna's dramatic exit." "Answer it," Maya said. "She might as well hear this from you directly." Evan put the call on speaker. "Evan, what is this nonsense about firing Sienna? She's been invaluable to your—" "Mum, stop talking," Evan said calmly. "I need to tell you something, and I need you to listen. If this is about that photograph, it's about my son, your grandson, Jordan Bennett Hart." Silence on the other end of the line. "Tomorrow morning, I'm releasing a statement confirming that Jordan is my child. I'm not hiding him anymore. I'm not keeping him secret. He's part of our family now, and that's how it's going to be. Evan, think about what you're saying. The company will be fine, and if it's not, then it's not worth having." "You're making a mistake." Vivian's voice was ice cold. "That woman has clearly manipulated you. She's using that child to—" "Mom," Evan's voice cut through her words like a blade. "You will not speak about Maya or Jordan that way. Not ever again." Another long silence. "I see," Vivian said finally. "Well then, I suppose there's nothing left to discuss." The line went dead. Maya looked at Evan, who was staring at his phone with a mixture of sadness and determination. "Are you okay?" she asked. "I will be," he said. "What about you? Are you ready for this?" Maya thought about Jordan, probably sitting in circle time right now, listening to his teacher read a story about friendship or kindness. Her brave, loving little boy, who deserved to have his father openly and proudly in his life. "Yes," she said, "I'm ready." As they worked together to draft a simple, honest statement about their family, Maya felt something she hadn't felt in 6 years. Hope. Maybe second chances were real. Maybe people could change. And maybe, just maybe, love really was enough to overcome the mistakes of the past. Outside Evan's office windows, Boston Harbor sparkled in the afternoon sun, and somewhere across the city, a 5-year-old boy was learning about butterflies and dreaming about whales, completely unaware that his life was about to get infinitely bigger and brighter. The truth, Maya thought, was going to set them all free. The statement went live at 8 a.m. the next morning. Maya sat in her bakery kitchen, her laptop open on the flour-dusted counter, reading Evan's words for the 10th time. "I'm excited to share some personal news. I recently reconnected with my son, Jordan Bennett Hart, and his incredible mother, Maya. Jordan is 5 years old, loves marine biology, and makes the best paper airplanes you've ever seen. I'm grateful for the chance to be part of his life and ask for privacy as we navigate this new chapter as a family. Simple, honest, no blame, no drama, just the truth. Maya's phone had been buzzing non-stop since the statement posted, reporters wanting interviews, bloggers asking for comments, even a few TV producers offering exclusive tell-all opportunities. She ignored them all. "Any regrets?" Carla asked, setting a cup of coffee next to Maya's laptop. "About what? Letting him go public? Opening up your quiet life to all this chaos?" Maya looked around her peaceful bakery. In a few hours, it would be full of regular customers buying their morning pastries and coffee. Mrs. Chen would order her usual blueberry muffin. Tom from the fire station would grab donuts for his crew. Life would go on, just like always. "No regrets," Maya said. "Jordan deserves to have his father openly in his life. If that means dealing with some attention for a while, so be it." Her phone rang. Evan's name appeared on the screen. "How are you holding up?" he asked without preamble. "Fine. You?" "My phone hasn't stopped ringing. My assistant quit. Apparently she doesn't want to work for someone with family complications. And 3 reporters are camped outside my building." Maya winced. "I'm sorry. I know this isn't easy for you." "Maya, don't apologize. This is the right thing. The only thing." Evan's voice was firm. "I'm calling because I want to pick Jordan up from school today, if that's okay with you." Maya hesitated. "Evan, with all this media attention, I'll be careful. No photos, no statements. I just want to be there for him, like a normal dad." Something in his voice made Maya's chest tight. "Okay, but if anyone approaches you with cameras, I'll handle it, I promise." After Maya hung up, she found herself nervous for reasons she couldn't name. This was what she had wanted, for Evan to be a real father to Jordan. But now that it was happening, it felt huge, permanent. At 2:45 p.m., Maya's phone buzzed with a text from Evan. "Pickup went perfectly. Heading to the park if you want to join us." Maya closed the bakery early and drove to Beacon Street Park. She spotted them immediately. Jordan on the monkey bars with Evan spotting him below, both of them laughing. "Mommy," Jordan called when he saw her. "Look how far I can go." He swung across 3 bars before dropping down into Evan's waiting arms. "That was amazing," Evan said, setting Jordan down. "You're getting so strong," Jordan beamed. "Mr. Evans said maybe we can go to the real aquarium this weekend. The big one, with the whale room." "Did he now?" Maya looked at Evan, who had the grace to look sheepish. "Only if you think it's a good idea," he said quickly. "I should have asked you first." "Can we, Mommy? Please," Mr. Evans said. "He knows where the best fish are." Maya looked at her son's hopeful face, then at Evan's equally hopeful one. "I suppose that would be okay." Jordan cheered and ran back to the monkey bars. "Thank you," Evan said quietly. "For what?" "For trusting me with him, for letting me be part of this." They sat on a bench, watching Jordan play. The afternoon sun was warm on Maya's face, and for a moment, everything felt perfectly normal. "Any fallout from the statement?" Maya asked. "Some. A few investors called to express concern. My board wants an emergency meeting tomorrow." Evan shrugged. "But you know what? The response from regular people has been overwhelmingly positive. Hundreds of messages from single parents and absent fathers saying how brave it was to publicly acknowledge Jordan. Really, really. Turns out most people think family matters more than business image. Who knew?" Maya smiled. "Maybe people are better than you thought." "Maybe they are." Evan was quiet for a moment. "Maya, can I ask you something?" "Of course." "When you were pregnant, when you were trying to reach me, what did you think? About me not responding?" Maya considered her words carefully. "At first I thought you were just busy. Then I thought you were avoiding me. Eventually, I decided you had made your feelings clear that you didn't want me in your life, so you definitely wouldn't want our baby either. And you raised him alone all these years, thinking I had abandoned you both." "I raised him knowing he was loved," Maya corrected. "By me, by Carla, by everyone at the bakery. He never felt abandoned, Evan. He felt wanted." Evan's eyes were bright with unshed tears. "How do you not hate me?" "Because hating you wouldn't help Jordan. And because," Maya hesitated, "because I can see that you're different now. The man I'm sitting here with isn't the same person who broke up with me 6 years ago." "I hope not." They watched Jordan attempt to master the monkey bars for the 15th time, his tongue poking out in concentration. "Evan, can I ask you something now?" "Anything." "What changed? What made you grow up?" Evan was quiet for a long time. "Failure," he said finally. "The company almost went under 3 years ago. I was working 18-hour days, barely sleeping, treating everyone around me like obstacles instead of people. I ended up in the hospital with exhaustion and stress. He ran his hands through his hair. Lying in that hospital bed, I realized I had built this amazing business, but I didn't have anyone to share it with. No real friends, no family, just employees and business associates. It was the loneliest I'd ever been. That sounds terrible. It was. And it made me realize that success doesn't mean anything if you don't have people to love. He looked at her. I thought about you a lot during that time, about how I had treated you, about what an idiot I'd been. Why didn't you try to find me then? I thought about it, but I figured you had moved on, built a life without me. I didn't think I had the right to disrupt that. He smiled sadly. I never imagined you might have been trying to reach me when it mattered most. Jordan came running over, cheeks flushed from playing. I'm thirsty. Water fountain or juice box? Maya asked, digging in her purse. Juice box, the apple one. As Jordan drank his juice, he chatted about his day at school. Miss Rodriguez said we're going to learn about ocean animals next week. And guess what? Marcus's dad is coming to talk about being a firefighter. That sounds exciting, Evan said. Maybe you could come talk about being a businessman, Jordan said brightly. You could tell everyone about computers and stuff. Maya felt Evan's sharp glance. That might be difficult right now, sweetheart, she said gently. Mr. Evan is very busy with work. But Jordan had already moved on. Oh, and I made this for you. He pulled a crumpled piece of paper from his backpack. It's a thank you card for taking me to the park yesterday. The card was decorated with crayon drawings of stick figures under a bright yellow sun. Inside, in Jordan's careful 5-year-old handwriting, it said, Thank you, Mr. Evan. You are nice. Love, Jordan. Evan stared at the card like it was made of gold. Jordan, this is the best card I've ever gotten. Really? Really? Can I keep it forever? Jordan giggled. It's yours. That's what gifts are for. As they walked back to their cars, Jordan skipped ahead, humming a song he had learned in music class. Maya, Evan said quietly, I know we're taking this slow, and I respect that, but I want you to know, this isn't just about Jordan for me. Maya's heart skipped. What do you mean? I mean I care about you too. I always did, even when I was too stupid to admit it. And now, seeing the incredible woman you've become, the amazing mother you are. He stopped walking. I'd like to try again, with us, if you're open to that. Maya looked at this man who had broken her heart 6 years ago, who was now being so gentle with their son, who had just risked his entire business reputation to acknowledge his family publicly. I'm scared, she admitted. Me too. If we do this, if we try to be a real family, Jordan has to come first. Always. I wouldn't want it any other way. Maya looked ahead at Jordan, who had found a dandelion and was making a wish before blowing the seeds into the wind. Okay, she said. We can try. But slow, really slow. Evan's smile could have powered the whole city. Slow is perfect. The weekend aquarium trip was magical. Jordan pressed his face against every tank, asking endless questions about the fish, the coral, the way the jellyfish moved like underwater dancers. Why are their tentacles so long? He asked, watching a jellyfish drift by. For catching food, Evan explained, and for protecting themselves. Like how I use my arms to catch balls. Exactly like that. Maya watched Evan crouch down to Jordan's level, patiently answering every question, encouraging Jordan's curiosity, instead of rushing him along. This was what Jordan had been missing, not just a father figure, but someone who took his interests seriously. At the penguin exhibit, Jordan pressed both hands against the glass. They look like they're wearing fancy suits, tuxedos, Maya agreed. Just like at the big party where we met Mr. Evan. Jordan turned to Evan. Do you think penguins go to fancy parties? Probably, Evan said seriously. But they serve fish instead of cake. Jordan giggled. That's silly. Fish isn't cake. Maybe not to us, but to penguins. Fish is probably better than cake. They spent 3 hours at the aquarium. By the time they left, Jordan was exhausted, but happy, carrying a stuffed penguin that Evan had bought him, and a bag of educational books about marine life. This was the best day ever, Jordan announced from his car seat. Can we do it again next weekend? We'll see, Maya said. Mr. Evan might have work stuff to do, but Evan was already nodding. Next weekend sounds perfect. Maybe we could try the science museum. With the dinosaurs? Jordan's eyes lit up. With the dinosaurs. As Maya drove home, Jordan fell asleep, clutching his new penguin. In her rearview mirror, she could see Evan following them in his car, and something about that simple sight made her feel safer than she had in years. That night, after Jordan was tucked into bed, Maya sat on her couch with a cup of tea and her phone. She had dozens of missed calls and texts from reporters, but one message caught her attention. It was from a number she didn't recognize. "Hi, Maya. This is Jennifer from the Gala catering. I saw the news about you and Mr. Hart. I just wanted to say that Jordan is obviously a lucky little boy to have such a wonderful mom, and Mr. Hart seems genuinely happy when he talks about you both. I hope everything works out beautifully for your family." Maya smiled, feeling warmer than she had all day. Maybe this was going to be okay after all. Her doorbell rang. Maya looked through the peephole and saw Evan standing on her front step, holding a white bakery box. "I brought dessert," he said when she opened the door. "From that little place near the aquarium." Jordan mentioned he liked chocolate. "It's 9 p.m., Maya pointed out. "I know. I wanted to thank you for today, and I couldn't wait until tomorrow." Maya stepped aside to let him in. "Jordan's asleep." "I know. This thank you is for you." They sat at Maya's small kitchen table, sharing chocolate cake and talking in quiet voices about the day, about Jordan's questions and excitement, about the way he had fallen asleep in the car, holding his penguin. "He's so smart," Evan said, "and curious about everything. You've done such an incredible job with him, Maya." "We've done a good job," Maya corrected. "This week, watching you with him. You're a natural father, Evan. It's like you were meant for this." "I feel like I was. Like this is what I was missing without even knowing it." They talked until almost midnight about Jordan's school, his friends, his likes and dislikes, about Maya's bakery and Evan's company, about their hopes for Jordan's future and their fears about messing this up. "I should go," Evan said finally. "It's late, and you have to work tomorrow." "Evan," Maya said as he stood to leave. "Yes? Thank you for today, for all of this, for proving that people can change." Evan cupped her face gently in his hands. "Thank you for giving me the chance to prove it." He kissed her forehead softly, and Maya felt something settle in her chest, something that felt like coming home. The next few weeks fell into a rhythm that felt surprisingly natural. Evan picked Jordan up from school twice a week. They spent every Saturday together, exploring museums or parks, or just playing in Maya's backyard. Sunday became family dinner night, with Evan bringing takeout and Jordan helping Maya make dessert. The media attention gradually died down. A few photos appeared in blogs, Evan and Jordan at the park, Maya laughing at something Jordan said, but they were candid shots of a family enjoying time together, not scandal-worthy gossip. Evan's board meeting had gone better than expected. 2 investors pulled out, but 3 new ones came forward, saying they preferred to work with a CEO who valued family. The IPO was postponed but not cancelled. "Turns out integrity is good for business," Evan told Maya over dinner one Sunday. Who would have thought? Jordan was coloring at the table, half listening to their conversation while creating an elaborate underwater scene. "Mr. Evan," Jordan said without looking up from his drawing, "are you going to marry my mommy?" Maya nearly choked on her water. Evan went very still. "Jordan, honey," Maya said carefully, "why would you ask that? Marcus's daddy married his mommy, and now they all live in the same house. I think it would be cool if we all lived in the same house." Maya felt heat rise in her cheeks. "Sweetheart, that's not something we need to worry about right now." "But do you like each other?" Jordan persisted. "You laugh a lot when Mr. Evan is here. And he always helps with the dishes." Evan cleared his throat. "Jordan, your mummy and I are good friends. We both love you very much, and we like spending time together as a family. But do you love each other like mommies and daddies do?" Maya met Evan's eyes across the table. She saw the same question there, the same uncertainty and hope that she felt in her own chest. "We care about each other very much," Maya said finally. "But the most important thing is that we both love you, and we want to make sure you're happy and safe." Jordan seemed satisfied with that answer and went back to his coloring. Later, after Jordan was asleep, Maya and Evan sat on her couch, both of them thinking about the conversation at dinner. "He's not wrong," Evan said quietly. "I do love you. I think I always have, even when I was too much of a coward to admit it." Maya felt her heart race. "Evan, I'm not asking for anything, Maya. I'm not rushing you. I just wanted you to know how I feel." Maya looked at this man who had become so important to both her and Jordan. "I'm terrified," she admitted. "Of what?" "Of trusting this. Of believing that it's real and then having it disappear." "It's real," Evan said simply. I'm not going anywhere, Maya. Ever. Whether you love me back or not, whether we're together or not, I will always be here for Jordan and for you. Maya studied his face in the soft lamplight. She saw sincerity there, determination, love. I love you too, she whispered. Evan's breath caught. Really? Really? I've been fighting it for weeks, but... She smiled. You're pretty hard to resist when you're being a good father to my son. Our son, Evan corrected gently. Our son, Maya agreed. When Evan kissed her this time, it wasn't gentle or hesitant. It was full of 6 years of regret and hope and love. It was a promise and an apology and a beginning all at once. So what happens now? Maya asked when they broke apart. Now we keep taking it slow, Evan said. We keep putting Jordan first. We keep building this family one day at a time. And eventually, if you'll have me, I'd like to make this official. All of it. Marriage, moving in together, being a real family. Maya smiled. I'd like that too. Eventually, Evan agreed. But not tonight. Not tonight, Maya confirmed. Tonight, we just enjoy this. They sat together on her couch, talking quietly about the future they were building together. Outside, Boston sparkled in the darkness, full of possibilities and second chances. In his bedroom, Jordan slept peacefully, his stuffed penguin tucked under one arm, and his latest drawing taped to the wall 3 stick figures holding hands under a bright yellow sun, with "My Family" written in careful crayon letters at the bottom. They were going to be okay, Maya realized. All 3 of them. They were going to be more than okay. They were going to be happy. 3 months later, on a crisp February morning, Maya stood in her bathroom, staring at a pregnancy test. 2 pink lines stared back at her. Her hands shook as she set the test on the counter. Another baby. She and Evan had been careful, but not careful enough, apparently. Jordan's voice carried from the kitchen, where Evan was making Saturday morning pancakes. Mr. Evan, you're supposed to flip them when they bubble. I'm trying. This is harder than it looks. Maya smiled despite her shock. Evan had been trying to master pancake making for weeks, determined to contribute to their weekend breakfast tradition. Maya? Evan called. Everything okay in there? Fine, she called back. Be right out. She looked at the test again. 2 lines. Pregnant. With Evan's baby. Again. But this time felt completely different. This time, she wasn't alone. This time, Evan would be here, from the very beginning. The thought was both thrilling and terrifying. Mummy, your pancakes are burning, Jordan called out. Maya laughed and tucked the test into her robe pocket. She would tell Evan later, after Jordan went to his friend Marcus's house for a play date. For now, she just wanted to enjoy this perfect Saturday morning with her family. Coming, she called, and walked into the kitchen where her whole world was waiting for her. The pancakes were slightly burned. Jordan had syrup on his chin, and Evan had flour in his hair. It was chaotic and messy, and absolutely perfect. Maya sat down at the table and looked at these 2 people who had become her everything. Jordan was telling an elaborate story about his dream where penguins could fly. Evan was listening with complete attention, asking thoughtful questions and making Jordan giggle. This was what love looked like, Maya realized. Not grand gestures or perfect moments, but Saturday morning pancakes and bedtime stories and gentle kisses goodnight. It was choosing each other every day, even when it was hard. Especially when it was hard. What are you smiling about? Evan asked, noticing her expression. Just thinking about how lucky we are, Maya said. The luckiest, Jordan agreed through a mouthful of pancake. Evan reached across the table to squeeze Maya's hand. The absolute luckiest. Outside, snow began to fall softly, dusting the world in fresh white. Inside their warm kitchen, the Bennett Hart family ate breakfast and made plans for the day, completely unaware that their world was about to get even bigger and more wonderful. Some stories, Maya thought, really do have happy endings. And sometimes, if you're very lucky, they have happy new beginnings too. Maya stared at the pregnancy test in her hands, her heart racing. 2 pink lines, clear as day. She was pregnant. Again. From the kitchen came the sound of Jordan's laughter and Evan's voice saying, "Okay, buddy, I think we officially burned these pancakes. Want to try again?" "Yes, but this time, I get to crack the eggs." "Deal, but we're doing it over the sink this time." Maya smiled despite her shock. In the 3 months since she and Evan had admitted their love for each other, Life had settled into a rhythm that felt like home. Evan had a key to her apartment now. He kept a spare suit in her closet for emergencies. His coffee mug had a permanent spot next to hers. But this changed everything again. Maya tucked the test into her robe pocket and walked into the kitchen. Evan stood at the stove, flour dusting his dark hair, while Jordan carefully cracked eggs into a bowl. "Look, Mommy, I only got a little bit of shell in there." "That's perfectly fine, sweetheart. Shell adds flavor," Maya said, sitting down at the table. Evan looked at her with concern. "You okay? You were in there a while." "Just thinking," Maya said. "Evan, can we talk later, after Jordan goes to Marcus's house?" Something in her tone made Evan pause. "Of course. Everything all right?" "Everything's fine. We need to talk." 4 hours later, after Jordan had been dropped off at his friend's house for an afternoon playdate, Maya and Evan sat on her couch. The pregnancy test lay on the coffee table between them. Evan stared at it in complete silence for a full minute. "Pregnant," he said finally. "Pregnant," Maya confirmed. "How do you feel about it?" Maya had been asking herself the same question all morning. Scared, happy, confused, all at the same time. Evan picked up the test, holding it like it might break. "I can't believe I'm going to miss another pregnancy. Another birth. What do you mean?" "I missed everything with Jordan, the ultrasounds, feeling him kick, being there when he was born, all those first moments." Evan's voice was thick with emotion. "But this time you'll be here for everything," Maya finished softly. Evan set the test down gently and pulled Maya into his arms. "Are you happy? About the baby?" "Terrified, but yes, happy." Maya leaned into his warmth. "What about you?" "I'm over the moon," Evan said simply. "Scared out of my mind, but over the moon." They sat in comfortable silence, both processing this unexpected turn. "We should tell Jordan soon," Maya said eventually, "before I start showing. How do you think he'll take it?" Maya laughed. "Are you kidding? He's been asking for a baby brother or sister since he learned what siblings were. He's going to be thrilled." "A sibling for Jordan," Evan mused. "Our second child together." "Our second child, period," Maya corrected. "Jordan is ours, Evan. He always has been." Evan kissed the top of her head. "You're right. Our family is just getting bigger." That evening, they picked up Jordan from his playdate. He chatted the entire drive home about his afternoon with Marcus. "We built the biggest fort ever. It had 3 rooms and a secret passage, and Marcus's mom made grilled cheese that was cut into dinosaur shapes." "That sounds amazing," Maya said. "Can we build a fort at home, please? We could use all the blankets and chairs." "Maybe tomorrow," Evan said. "But right now, your mom and I have something exciting to tell you." Jordan perked up immediately. "What kind of exciting? Good exciting or scary exciting?" "The best kind of exciting," Maya assured him. Once they were home, the 3 of them settled on the couch. Jordan bounced between them, clearly sensing something big was coming. "Jordan," Maya began carefully, "how would you feel about having a baby brother or sister?" Jordan's eyes went wide. "A real baby? Like a tiny person baby?" "Like a tiny person baby," Evan confirmed. "Yes!" Jordan jumped up so enthusiastically, he nearly fell off the couch. "When? Where is it? Is it in your tummy, Mommy?" Maya laughed at his excitement. "Yes, the baby is growing in my tummy, but it won't be born until next fall. That's a long time from now." "Fall? Like when the leaves change colors?" "Exactly like that." Jordan sat back down, his mind clearly working. "Will the baby like dinosaurs? And whales? And paper airplanes?" "The baby will probably like whatever you teach them to like," Evan said. "I'm going to be the best big brother ever," Jordan declared. "I'll show them all the good books, and how to make the best paper airplanes, and which fish are the coolest at the aquarium." Maya felt tears prick her eyes. "You're going to be an amazing big brother, sweetheart. Can I help pick out names? I know lots of good names." "We'd love your help picking names," Evan said. "What names do you like?" "If it's a boy, maybe Ocean, because of the whales. Or if it's a girl, maybe Sparkle." Maya and Evan exchanged amused glances. They had 8 months to work on the name situation. "Those are very creative suggestions," Maya said diplomatically. "We'll definitely consider them." Jordan was already moving on to the next important question. "When the baby comes, will Mr. Evan live here all the time?" Maya's breath caught. She and Evan had talked about moving in together eventually, but they hadn't made any concrete plans. "Would you like that?" Evan asked Jordan carefully. "Yes, then we'd be a real family like Marcus has. With a mommy and daddy who live in the same house, and a baby and everything. Maya looked at Evan. What do you think? I think, Evan said slowly, that sounds perfect. If you're ready for that. Maya thought about waking up every morning with Evan beside her, thought about him being there for bedtime stories and middle-of-the-night feedings, and all the little moments that made up a life together. I'm ready, she said. Really? Really. Evan's smile could have powered the entire city of Boston. The next few months flew by in a whirlwind of planning and changes. Evan officially moved into Maya's apartment, though they started looking at bigger places that would accommodate their growing family. Maya's pregnancy was easier this time around. Maybe because she wasn't stressed about money or raising a child alone. Maybe because she had Evan rubbing her feet and bringing her ice cream at weird hours and generally taking care of her in ways she'd never experienced before. Jordan was the perfect big brother in training. He talked to Maya's belly every night, reading stories to his future sibling and explaining important things like which colors were the best and why whales were cooler than dolphins. The baby can hear me, right? He asked one evening, his ear pressed to Maya's growing bump. The baby can definitely hear you, Maya confirmed. Good. I want them to know my voice when they come out. Evan had been a constant presence throughout the pregnancy, attending every doctor's appointment with wide-eyed wonder. The first time they heard the baby's heartbeat, he cried openly in the doctor's office. I can't believe I missed this with Jordan, he whispered, squeezing Maya's hand. You're here now, Maya reminded him. That's what matters. The ultrasound at 20 weeks revealed they were having a girl. Jordan was thrilled. A sister. I can teach her about princesses and dinosaurs. Why not both? Evan suggested. Exactly. Princess dinosaurs. They're the best kind. As Maya's due date approached, she found herself marveling at how different this pregnancy felt from her first. She wasn't alone. She wasn't scared about the future. She had a partner who was as excited about this baby as she was. Any thoughts on names? Evan asked one evening, as they assembled the crib in what would be the baby's room. I keep coming back to Emma, Maya said. It means whole or universal. I like that. Emma. Evan tested the name. Emma Bennett Hart. What do you think? I think it's perfect. Jordan, who had been carefully organizing baby clothes in the dresser, looked up. Emma, that's much better than Sparkle. Maya laughed. I thought you liked Sparkle. Sparkle is good for a fish. Emma is good for a sister. Maya went into labor on a beautiful September morning. Evan was calm but focused, handling logistics while Carla stayed with Jordan. Tell Emma I'm waiting for her, Jordan called as they left for the hospital. And that I already made her a welcome home card. Emma Rose Bennett Hart was born at 3:47 p.m., weighing 7 pounds, 2 ounces. She had Evan's chin and Maya's dark eyes and the tiniest, most perfect fingers Maya had ever seen. She's beautiful, Evan whispered, tears streaming down his face as he held his daughter for the first time. She's absolutely beautiful. Jordan is going to lose his mind, Maya said, exhausted but happy. He's been so excited to meet her. When Jordan finally got to visit that evening, he approached his sister with the reverence usually reserved for museum exhibits. She's so tiny, he whispered. Hi, Emma. I'm Jordan. I'm your big brother. I've been waiting to meet you for so long. Emma opened her dark eyes and seemed to focus on Jordan's voice. She's looking at me, Jordan said in amazement. She knows I'm her brother. She definitely knows, Maya agreed. Jordan gently touched Emma's tiny hand with one finger. I love her so much already, Mummy. She's the best baby ever. That night, as Maya nursed Emma in the quiet hospital room, Evan sat beside them, his arm around Maya's shoulders. Thank you, he said quietly. For what? For giving me this family, this chance to get it right. Maya leaned against him, feeling complete in a way she never had before. We're pretty great together, aren't we? The greatest. 2 weeks later, they brought Emma home to a house decorated with balloons and a banner that read, Welcome home, Emma, in Jordan's careful handwriting. I helped Carla make cupcakes, Jordan announced proudly. Pink ones because she's a girl. That was very thoughtful of you, Maya said. Settling onto the couch with Emma, Jordan climbed up beside them, peering down at his sleeping sister. When will she be able to play with me? Not for a while, Evan said, sitting on Maya's other side. Babies mostly just eat and sleep and cry for the first few months. That sounds boring. It is pretty boring, Maya agreed, but she'll get more interesting as she gets older. Will you teach me how to change her diaper? I want to be a good helper. Of course we'll teach you, Evan said. Being a big brother is an important job. Jordan nodded seriously. I'm going to be the best big brother ever. Better than Marcus's big brother. Marcus's big brother never lets him play with his video games. I think Emma is very lucky to have you, Maya said, kissing Jordan's forehead. As the weeks turned into months, their family found its rhythm. Evan was every bit the devoted father Maya had hoped he would be, getting up for night feedings and changing diapers and singing off-key lullabies that somehow always made Emma stop crying. Jordan was true to his word about being the best big brother. He helped with baths and feeding time, and always made sure Emma had her favorite stuffed animal, a small whale, naturally, before bed. Maya watched her family with a full heart. This was what she had dreamed of during those long, lonely years as a single mother. Not just a partner, but a true teammate. Not just a father figure for Jordan, but someone who loved her son as much as she did. I have something for you, Evan said one evening as Maya was putting Emma down for the night. What's the occasion? No occasion. I just saw it and thought of you. Evan handed her a small velvet box. Inside was a simple gold locket. Open it, he said. Inside the locket were two tiny photos, one of Jordan as a baby and one of Emma sleeping. Evan, it's beautiful. I wanted you to have something to carry them both with you. Our kids, our family. Maya felt tears slide down her cheeks. I love it. I love you. I love you too. All of you. More than I ever thought possible. As Maya fastened the locket around her neck, she thought about how far they'd all come. 6 years ago, she never would have imagined this life, this happiness, this sense of completeness. Maya, Evan said softly. What? Marry me. Maya's breath caught. What? Evan dropped to one knee beside her chair, pulling out a simple diamond ring. I know we've talked about it in abstract terms, but I don't want to wait anymore. I want to be your husband officially. I want Jordan and Emma to grow up knowing we're committed to this family completely. Marry me, Maya. Please. Maya looked down at this man who had changed so completely from the person who had broken her heart years ago. This man who read bedtime stories in funny voices and changed diapers at 3 a.m. and loved their children with a fierceness that took her breath away. Yes, she whispered. Yes, of course I'll marry you. Evan slipped the ring onto her finger with shaking hands. Really, really. Yes, came a loud whisper from the hallway. Maya and Evan turned to see Jordan peeking around the corner in his pajamas. Jordan Bennett Hart, you're supposed to be asleep, Maya said, trying to sound stern. I heard voices and wanted to make sure Emma was okay, but this is way better. Are you really getting married? We're really getting married, Evan confirmed, standing up and pulling Maya into his arms. Does that mean I can call you Dad instead of Mr. Evan? Evan's eyes filled with tears. If you want to, I'd love that. Dad, Jordan tested the word. Dad, Dad, Dad. I like it. I like it too, Evan said, his voice thick with emotion. Maya looked at her son and her fiancé and felt her heart might burst from happiness. Down the hall, Emma made a small sound in her sleep, and Jordan immediately straightened. I should check on her, he said seriously. Big brothers always make sure their sisters are okay. As Jordan tiptoed toward Emma's room, Maya leaned into Evan's arms. So, she said, admiring her ring, when should we have this wedding? Tomorrow? Evan suggested hopefully. Maya laughed. I think we can wait a little longer than that. But not too long. I've waited 6 years to be your wife. I don't want to wait much longer. 6 months, Evan said. A spring wedding. Small and simple, just family and close friends. Perfect. 6 months later, on a beautiful May morning, Maya Bennett married Evan Hart in the garden behind Carla's house. Jordan, now 6½, walked Maya down the aisle, while Carla held 8-month-old Emma, who gurgled happily throughout the ceremony. The guest list was small. Carla and her family, a few close friends from the bakery, Evan's business partner who had become a good friend, and even Vivian Hart, who had surprised everyone by asking to be included. Vivian's relationship with Maya was still complicated, but she adored her grandchildren and had slowly begun to accept that Maya wasn't going anywhere. She makes you happy, Vivian had told Evan privately the week before the wedding. And those children, well, they're impossible not to love. It wasn't a full apology, but it was progress. As Maya and Evan exchanged vows in front of their closest family and friends, Jordan stood proudly beside them as the ring-bearer, and Emma clapped her chubby hands from Carla's arms. I promise to love you, Jordan, and Emma with everything I have, Evan said, looking directly at Maya. "I promise to be the father and husband you all deserve. I promise to choose this family every day for the rest of my life." Maya's voice was steady as she spoke her vows. "I promise to trust you with our family's heart. I promise to build this life with you, through good times and challenging ones. I promise to love you exactly as you are, while never stopping to grow together." When the minister pronounced them husband and wife, Jordan cheered so loudly that Emma startled and began to cry, which made everyone laugh and reminded them all that this was a real family moment, not a perfect fairy tale. And that was exactly what Maya wanted. The reception was held in the same garden, with string lights and simple flowers, and the best cake Maya had ever made. Jordan gave a speech that mostly consisted of him listing all the reasons why his dad was the coolest, and Emma provided entertainment by trying to grab everyone's glasses. As the evening wound down and guests began to leave, Maya found herself swaying slowly with Evan on the makeshift dance floor, Emma sleeping in Carla's arms nearby, and Jordan running around with sparklers under Carla's watchful eye. "Any regrets?" Evan asked, echoing Carla's question from so many months ago. "Not a single one," Maya said. "You? Only that it took us so long to get here." "We got here exactly when we were supposed to," Maya said. "We both had to grow up first. We had to become the people we needed to be for this family. And now? Now we get to spend the rest of our lives being happy." Evan spun her gently under the lights. "I love the sound of that." As they danced under the stars, surrounded by the people who loved them most, Maya thought about the journey that had brought them to this moment, the pain, the growth, the second chances, the choice to trust again. It had all been worth it for the feeling of being exactly where she belonged, with exactly the people she was meant to love. "Mommy, Dad," Jordan called, running over to them. "Emma's asleep, but her eyes are still open. Is that normal?" Maya laughed, the perfect moment dissolving into the beautiful chaos of real family life. "That's completely normal, sweetheart. Come dance with us." Jordan joined them on the dance floor, and the three of them swayed together under the evening sky, parents and son, forming a circle that would soon include a sleeping baby girl. This was love, Maya realized. Not just the romantic kind, but the everyday kind that showed up for soccer games and diaper changes and middle-of-the-night fevers. The kind that chose patience over pride and forgiveness over resentment. The kind that believed in second chances and happy endings that were really just happy beginnings. As the last song ended and they gathered Emma for the drive home, Maya felt a deep sense of contentment settle in her chest. They were going home together, all four of them, to the life they had built with love, patience, and the courage to trust in something better than what came before. And tomorrow, they would wake up and choose each other all over again. Some love stories end with a kiss and a sunset. This one was just getting started.